Okay, welcome back. VibesWorkshop.com, video lessons on applying African concepts and ideas to the log xylophone, the Balafon, the 4-octave pentatonic instrument from Burkina Faso. My instrument is in need of repair. I haven't mentioned that much, but it still sounds pretty good. The notes are very much out of tune, but I'm using it as a nice vehicle to share some ideas in the mallet world and to talk, let you see where you could go with it. Okay, so we've looked at previous videos. I've looked at the 2 cross rhythm. The last video was on the 3 cross rhythm. Then there's the 4 cross rhythm, and we also looked at the 6. 2, 3, 4, and 6. You're not going to be able to divide 12 by 5, and you can, but that's a different system that I use applying Indian mathematics into cycles of 24/8, 36/8. Anyway, let's stay within this 12/8 realm and look at what is the 8 cross rhythm. If you divide 12 by 8, I'll let you try to do the math for a second here as I get set up. I'm going to kind of give you my African standpoint first. 12 divided by 8. What do we think that is? Well, I'm going to put the bell here as I try maybe something a little fancier with the orchestration. 12 divided by 8 equals 1.5, which is basically in 12/8 is a dotted 8th note. So it's just a continuous 8th note, but in a 12 pulse. So if I'm keeping the bell and I got the foot, we have taka dimi taka junu taka dimi taka junu. A little slower. Doesn't seem very hard by itself. Now here's what it's going to sound like, and then I'll break it down for you. 1, 1. Taka dimi taka junu taka dimi taka junu sang 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 sang. It's really based on 2 sets of the 4/3. The second video lesson that I provided for the site is the 4/3 on the Balafon. And basically, it's if you take the 4 and put it here, and the 3, you have this. 1, 2, and 3. I've used various languages. I'm not going to kind of go back into those lessons too much. But what happens is you have the short long that takes place here. So it becomes this. Now that's beat 3, which on the bell pattern is empty. 1, 2, 3. So 3 is not a bell hit, but it will be here. So watch. Again, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So that's a little bit of a cracking into that nut a little bit. Now the second half of the phrase is the same phrase as I did, the 4/3, but it's the displaced version. So it's not going to start together on the 1, or the 3 I should say. It's actually, they're going to come together on the 4. Beat 4 of the bell pattern is actually where this 4/3 begins. So watch. 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and. So it's a rotated 4/3, and I still need to do that short long to finish it. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. So the point is they only come together on the 1 and the 4. 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. Now I'm keeping the foot in the 4 feel. Some of my more advanced techniques for drum set players has the feel shifting to a 3. 4, 3. Also Toto G rhythm. G, Toto, G, which is taka, 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 takita, takita. So some of the earlier videos talk about that. We're really not here to get wild with the foot, but it gives us that perspective of where things are in time. You know, as we play the vibes or the marimba or whatever the mallet instrument is, you know, we inherently feel the beat or the pulse, or it's either implied or implicit. I'm making it implicit now so we have a frame of reference. And I'm actually liking this idea of adding the ankle bell for my little Balafon playing. So this is allowing me to see new levels. Now, when I take it to the Balafon, we're going to move those notes around, and I'm going to kind of do a sort of an 8, 4, 2, and 1 reduction of the phrase between two drums or two notes. So it's going to start, land on the one, and then switch. Of course, it's going to land in other places and switch to what? One. 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 So it's actually 8. Watch, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. The 8 is the 1. 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Now if I do 4, or taka-dee-dee, 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 taka-dee-dee. 2, taka-taka-taka, so 1, taka-taka-taka-taka-taka. Then 1, taka-taka-taka-taka-taka. And my tendency in this world is to start singing African songs along with that. Let me kind of show you what that works like. Here's a song called Avu Matozo. Avu Matozo, Ewe la uma, Avu Matozo, Ewe la uma, Ewe, Ewe la uma, Ewe, Ewe la uma, Avu Matozo, Ewe la uma. Okay, so that's kind of a general reference to the African drums. This is called Sogo, this is called Kiti, and of course our bell, the Gonkogwe, are also called Tingo. But again, this could unfold into lots of what? What was that? And context in all these areas, I can't really do it all in here and now, but there's certainly questions and resources that I can provide. So if we go back to our balafon, our mallet instrument, and again, as mallet players, we probably all play a little bit of drums of some type, own drums, and of course sticks. And I, certainly say go for it on the mallet instrument, but do a lot of the mechanics away from the instrument. Figure out how things work. Hitting something, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the goal: is to set up the pulse, and on the right hand. The bell. If I stop the bell, 1 and 2 and 3. It's kind of an arrangement. Sang, 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 sang. Taka-dee-dee, taka-dee. 1, taka-dee-dee, taka-dee-dee. 1. The idea, you can get into some cool grooves, and I'm not really letting loose, although I do that quite a bit, but it's all about the context and the discipline of the phrase that gives you the freedom, the focus on that one idea, and simple movements, simple mechanics. It's it's there for us to use. So this is the cross rhythm in 8 with the foot in the 4 feel. Little heads up on other possibilities. There's 2 other positions for the 8 cross rhythm. And I am not going to show those unless there is a sudden call for, what is that, Mr. Jerry? So that said, let me let you go with the cross rhythms. By the way, here's a summary of them all. I'm going to do the 2 cross rhythm, going into the 3 cross rhythm, the 4, the 6, and then the 8. And I'm going to keep it all on one note for reference, one interval, keeping the foot in the 4. So this kind of gives you them all. And I'll even begin with the single hit. It's not really a cross rhythm, but right on the one. 4 bars each, and that'll end. Watch. 1. So, 1. 1. Ta. There's the 2. Ta. So, why not go to this other interval? Ta. 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 Then the 3. Ta. Ti. Ta. Ta. Ti. Ta. Ta. Again. Ta. It's a little longer, I know. There's the 4. Ta. Ta. Ti. Mi. Ta. Ta. Ti. Mi. Again. 1. 6. Ta. Ki. Ta. Ta. 8. So there's a composition there, perhaps, and certainly it's a very cool exercise. I like to think of every exercise as some kind of basis of a composition, much like we think of scales on the instrument to learn tunes. And I was never a very good scale player. I learned them and I understood them, but I really just found ways to play them inside tunes, and that's no excuse. So do the hard work, do the practice. Okay, there's our video on the 8 cross rhythm. First position, foot in the 4, and I gave you kind of a summary of them all. So there's a lot there. These videos can probably involve years of work, but you know, like I say, you've got nothing but time to figure them out. And if you so choose, let me know how it goes. Let me see your comments and questions. So that said, also the support material, I only give one example, which is just the 12, the foot in the 2 pulse, not the 4, and also the phrase in the 8. So I'm giving you one example to say there's the root of it all. That's the seed you plant in your rhythm garden, and you nurture that baby, and you just grow whatever you can. I like to think the deeper the roots, the taller the tree. So let's grow a sequoia of possibilities. You should have a whole forest of big ideas. Okay, signing off. Talk to you soon for some more. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.